Happy Wednesday afternoon. My name's Karina. I'll be leading you through a quick 60-minute power flow today. As far as props, I always like to have a block on hand. If you don't have a block handy, you can always use either a thick book or a couple of books stacked on top of each other. Other than that, that's all we need besides our mat. We're just going to start in a seated position first and wake up the breath. So you can sit cross-legged in Sukhasana if you'd like, the way I was sitting, or you could also sit in Vajrasana, which is stacking your thighs just on top of the lower part of your leg. Just see whatever feels comfortable today. Take a breath in and out and just notice where your breath might be in this moment. You know, sometimes it's a little quicker if we've been rushing, or it gets choppy throughout the day. Close your eyes for a moment and just really absorb where the breath is. As soon as you bring your awareness to it, it becomes an intentional, conscious breath, which is what we want to carry us through our practice today. So focus on long, spacious inhales through your nose, creating some space through the heart while the ribs open. And with your exhale, gathering everything back to its center. Just imagining a balloon maybe. As you inhale, inflating it as much as you possibly can. Sipping it in at the top and then opening your mouth and allowing it to deflate. Taking a few more breaths in that way. Just trying to get a sense of slowing everything down and arriving into your practice this afternoon. We'll use the breath to try and slow down anything that might be in the mind space at the moment. Notice if there's still swirls in there from the day, from the conversations, from all the Zoom calls, all the stuff that goes on that congest the mind. Just focusing more on the breath and feeling yourself become separate for anything that might seem chaotic or noisy in the mind space, right? Every breath creating some distance between your true self and those flurries of the mind. Also invite you always to set an intention for practice. I find it to be quite a helpful tool, along with the breath, to ground us, to keep us focused, and most of all, to cultivate a sense of presence in our practice so that we go through each moment as it happens without thinking of the moment prior or rushing ahead to what's coming next. Let's take one more breath here, really long, and open up and let it go, let everything melt. All right, let's start on hands and knees today and warm up. We'll do a few little bird dogs. So bring your wrists just directly under your shoulders first, and then we'll bring the knees right underneath the hips, and that way you already have a long neutral spine to work with. If you can shift your eyes just ahead of the fingertips, your neck will also stay long. Just center yourself and take a breath in and a full breath out. Next inhale, send the right arm and the left leg reaching in two directions without lifting too high. Exhale, bring them back to the earth. We'll go side to side for a few breaths, and then we'll do a little isometric hold. So just really working right now on stabilizing the body in preparation for movement. And the breath, we want to continue to elongate it, right, to grow it, that pranayama, right, life energy, prana, and then yama, the expansion, right, of that energy. Let's do one more of these on each side. So one more with your right arm leading, one more with the left arm leading, and then we'll meet back in that neutral tabletop. Once we arrive here, I'm going to have you tuck the toes into the mat. Take another giant breath in. With your exhale, lift the knees so that the shins parallel the floor. Everything else stays the same. Slide the shoulders away from the ears. Start to feel a sense of gathering the belly, so your center is really strong here. It's starting to warm up. We'll hold for another count of 5, 4, 3, 2. Take a breath in. Exhale and let the knees rest. Untuck the toes, inhale, send the right arm and left leg reaching, and we'll hold just for a few breaths here. I'm counting about 10 seconds. Strong, steady breath. The shoulders and the hips are staying square to the earth. The gaze is down. Take one more breath in. Exhale, release that hand and knee. Inhale, other side, we lengthen left arm and right leg, and we breathe. A little bit of softness in that supporting right elbow is helpful here. Again, keeping the shoulders and the hip bones as square to the earth as you can. Taking just another breath in and out. One more deep inhale. Then with the exhale, return down to the earth. From here, we'll take a breath in, and with the exhale, send it right into downward facing dog. So from this position, if you tuck your toes in and lift your hips, send the hips back, but you'll want to walk your feet back a little bit as well. All right, so you want to end up in a nice, long, inverted V position here. And then let's do walk it out today. Just sort of warming up the toes, the feet, the ankles. Get a light stretch through the back line of your legs, the calves, the back of the knees, the hamstrings. Start to tune in and notice how the physical part of the body feels today as well. Where do we need to soften, or where do we need extra space to be created? Start to root down through your heels. You can keep your knees a little bit soft here. Shake out your head. Notice if there's any tension in the neck. Really push away the earth, even though you're gripping with every part of each hand. The upper arms, try to rotate them outward to create some space through the collarbone and feel the heart widen as you do that. Let's take a breath in. And as you empty, root down a little deeper. Bring the feet together. Let's take three-legged dog. We'll send the right leg back first and then send it up towards the sky. Just trying to create a long line here from the crown of your head all the way to that back right foot. Let's take a breath in and exhale. Bring that right knee to the right elbow. Shift your gaze forward again. Lengthen your spine. Hold for a breath in and out. Inhale, send it back to three-legged dog. Exhale, lower that foot to the earth. Inhale, send the left leg back first and then up, reaching it towards the sky. Root down. Try to distribute the weight as evenly as you can through both hands. Take a breath in. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Find as much length as possible through the spine. Take a breath in and out. Inhale, send it back to three-legged dog. Exhale, lower it to the earth. Let's separate the feet, hips with distance. Take a breath in. And exhale, glide forward into high plank. I always like to spiral my arms outward a little bit more. Upper arms right here. The shoulders spin out. So the crease right in front of your elbow is facing forward. Walk your feet back just a little bit. If you can see yourself in your screen, you want to make sure the shoulders are still over the wrists. All right, a little bit of curling of the tailbone to lengthen the spine. Drop the ribs down towards the hip bones and reach through your heels to keep the legs active. Let's take a breath in here. With the exhale, glide down to a low plank, grazing the ribs all the way down to the earth we go. Untuck your toes here, and then we're going to reach the arms forward. All right, next inhale, lift your right arm and left leg, head, neck, and shoulders also rise. Exhale, everything lowers. Inhale, left arm, right leg, keep your gaze down. Exhale, lower. We'll just go a couple more times on each side. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling, just warming up the whole back line of the body. Still focusing strongly on your breath. Let's do one more on each side. Now keep your head to the earth. Slide the hands under the shoulders. Pull the elbows in towards the ribs. Press the tops of the feet into the earth. Come into Bhujangasana, baby cobra. lifting, but also reaching the crown of your head forward, like you're peeling your spine off the mat here. Try to pinch your shoulder blades just gently together and really press into the tops of the feet so the legs are so active here. Let's take a breath in and exhale, roll down, and we'll move through this a couple more times. Inhale, curling up. Exhale, rolling down. One more time. Inhale, like you're peeling a little piece of tape off your mat. Head, neck, shoulders rise. Stay there for the exhale, and then let's lift the legs, but keep reaching them behind you. So active here. Notice your tailbone. Try to imagine reaching it towards your heels. See how your low belly comes in when you do that? And then let's hover the hands just for a couple of breaths. Take the arms out like a T. See if you can bring your shoulder blades a little closer together, lifting the arms. And now Shalabhasana A, reach the fingertips behind you. Really get some space here, pulling the shoulders back, away from the ears. Lift the legs a little higher. Take a breath in, and exhale, melt it down. Take a breath. Now slide the hands back under shoulders. Let's rise up into tabletop. We'll take a couple rounds of cow and cat now that the spine is a little bit more stable and warmed up. Inhale, let's drop the belly. Bend the elbows quite a bit so you can really widen through the collarbone. Tailbone lifts. Exhale, push away the earth now. Lengthen the arms. Tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. Move to the rhythm of your own breath. Right, slow is best here. It feels so good. Just indulge in it for a few breaths. Creating a little bit more space through every part of the spine now. Let's do one more round of breath together. And then we'll come back to that neutral tabletop. From that tabletop position, take a breath in and exhale. Let's send it back to downward facing dog. Again, once you get up there, walk your feet back just a little bit. And now let's just root down in this downward facing dog. Hopefully you feel a little bit more open through the back of the legs, the spine. Right, arm muscles are waking up, leg muscles are waking up. Give your head a little shake. Bring all your awareness back to your breath, to your intention, if you were able to resonate with one this afternoon. From here, let's inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend your knees, hover the shins once more, but this time look forward beyond your fingertips. Pull the shoulders once again back away from the ears. Feel the belly strong here. And then walk your feet forward. Let's take ragdoll forward fold before we flow. I always love doing this right before sun salutations. Just one more moment to open up. So feet are wide, a little wider than hips is great. Maybe a little bit of outer rotation is good. And then just feel yourself allow the whole body to decompress here before we move. You can take some movement. You can clasp your elbows with your hands. Continue the breath. Soak it in. All right. If you took a bind, go ahead and switch arms. And now bring attention to your tailbone. And this time I want you to feel it lifting up towards the ceiling. See how that opens up a little bit more space and the hamstrings that tend to tighten up as we sit during the day. The hip flexors, right? That whole complex through the pelvis we take so much effort into opening it up in yoga because we compress it all day long. So let's be very gentle. Take a breath in. Empty the breath out. Heel to your feet together. Slowly rise all the way up to standing. And let the head be the last thing that comes up. Get a little bit more space through the neck, and then you're able to stand tall. Take a breath, sweeping the arms high above you. Look up at your hands, join them. And with your exhale, let them slide all the way down to your heart, Anjali Mudra. Pausing just for a quick moment. Let's close the eyes. Imagine every breath in draws in that quiet, calm energy, and every breath out puts a little bit more distance between you and that mind that just drives us crazy all day long. Let's gently open the eyes, release the hands at your sides, and we'll begin with sun salutations. Step to the very front of your mat if you're not already there. Inhale, sweep the arms high above you. Exhale, take a swan dive all the way down, hang your head. Inhale, lift up halfway, hands to shins, peel back the shoulders. Exhale, step back, high through low plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Let's pause for a few breaths here. All right, let's not skip through this. Really press the tops of the feet into the earth. So that same activation like we did with Bhujangasana. And now work on squeezing the shoulder blades together, rotating the upper arms out. All right, shift your gaze just slightly forward so there's no tension in the neck. Take a breath in from here. And exhale, downward dog. Roll over the toes and use your belly strength to get back there. Take a breath in. Empty the breath all the way out. One more time, deep inhale. Complete exhale. Now inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Walk or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway, re-lengthening the spine. Exhale, hang your head as you fold. Inhale, rising all the way up. Lift the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, chaturanga, to the earth we go. Inhale, upward facing dog, pausing briefly to open the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and empty it all the way out. One more time, deeply in and fully out. Inhale, let the heels lift. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, come to the front of your mat. Inhale, lengthen, lifting halfway. Exhale, melt and fold. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, diving down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath comes in, long and spacious. Breath empties out all the way. Once more, deeply inhaling. As you exhale, root down a little deeper. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend your knees, come forward. Inhale, lift halfway, re-lengthening. Exhale, fold as deeply as you can. Inhale, chair pose. Build it bit by bit, flexing the ankles, flexing the knees, flexing the hips, dropping the tailbone, softening the ribs, sweeping the arms up. Long lines, fingertips to hips, hips to knees, knees to heels. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Notice where you could soften in this moment. Crown of your head, the space between the brows, the cheekbones, the jawbones. Take just one more breath in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a peek at your feet. Make sure they're about hips width distance apart so you're basically on imaginary railroad tracks. Stay on those tracks and step the right foot through for warrior one. You'll replace your right hand, dial the left heel center, I always get a little bit more space here. I like to take my left foot wide towards the outer edge of my mat just because my hips are tight. So if you have tight hips, this whole area, give yourself a little bit more room to be able to move them into position. Notice the back leg. Straighten the front one for a moment. Really root down through the back edge of your left foot and then bend back in. Sweep the arms high. Once again, try to feel yourself melting from the crown of your head down. Everything softens. So you feel the strength of the pose, but the light of the pose. If possible, press your hands together. Take a breath in, look up. With your exhale, send it down. High through low plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we'll pause again, building this one slowly. Look at the spacing between your feet. When you're ready, step your left foot through. Back to warrior one. Both sides might not feel the same, so notice the space that feels right on this particular side before you rise up. Again, take a moment to straighten the front leg, really activate that outer edge of the back one, and then bend back in. Couple breaths to settle. Feel strong through your center. A sense of ease, even though you're working hard in this posture. Let's try and press the hands together. Take a breath in, look up. And exhale, send it down to the earth. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, a breath comes in. Remember that quiet, calm energy. And then as we breathe out, everything gets a little quieter. One more time, deep breath in. Full breath out. Let's flow. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees, come to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen. Exhale, hang your head, fold. Inhale to your chair. One breath in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward face, and keep exhaling. Right foot through. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, chaturanga. Let the breath out carry you down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing. Step the left foot through. Keep breathing out. Now inhale, warrior one. Exhale, chaturanga to the earth. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in, long and deep. Breath out. One more time, deeply in and fully, completely out. Inhale, send the heels high. Exhale, bend the knees, walk or float forward once more. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, hang your head, fold. Inhale, back to your chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing, stepping the right foot through. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, chaturanga, back to the earth. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing, left foot through. Deep breath in, warrior one. Let the breath carry you down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a long, deep breath in. Open up your mouth and let it go. Give yourself about 3 or 4 more breaths, either here in downward dog or maybe pausing in child's pose, balasana, for a few breaths. One more breath in here. Exhale, let it go. Let's meet back in downward facing dog and we'll continue through a few more flowy sequences. All right, from here, what we're gonna do is come into a low runner's lunge. So you're gonna step the right foot through once again. You want about a 90-degree bend in that front knee. If you have blocks, it feels really nice to stack your hands on blocks or tent your fingers. Just see what feels best. We want to try to keep the hips square to the earth. Now, from this low runner's lunge, gaze is also towards the front of your mat. We want that long neck. I'm going to ask you to lower the back left knee. Untuck the toes. Lift back up and keep the left leg as straight as you possibly can. Remember when you were pressing the tops of the feet into the earth for upward facing dog. Same idea here. Now, keep the leg as straight as you can. Try to lower the hip towards the earth. You should feel a nice opening stretch in the front of that whole left side. Be gentle with it. Make sure the shoulders aren't tensing up. Just slide them down. Keep your gaze ahead of your mat. Just a couple more breaths here. And then lower that left knee, retuck the toes in, rise up into that runner's lunge, and then we'll lift up into Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. I always like to bend the back knee a little bit. That way my tailbone can point down. I'm still creating space through the front of that left hip, and my spine stays long. But as an option, you can definitely keep the back leg a little straighter. Just see what feels best for you. Crescent lunge here. Gazing ahead, soft drishti, find one spot to focus on. From your crescent lunge, take a breath in. Exhale, take flight into your airplane, Dakasana. Go slowly, setting it up. Once again, keeping the shoulders and the hips squaring to the earth as you hinge forward. Heart stays open, reach the fingertips behind you. I like to point my back toe, but you could definitely flex your foot in the classical form. Just again, see what feels best for you. Take one more breath in. Exhale, back to chair pose will be our landing. From your chair pose, lower the hands to the heart. We're going to hinge forward slightly and take a twist over to your right side. Really try and hook the back of that left arm on the outside of that right knee. Press the hands firmly together. Look up if possible. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Take a breath in. With your exhale, come back to your chair pose, right to center. Slide the hands down to your heart. Hinge forward. Take a breath in and exhale, rotate to the other side. Few breaths here. Take one more breath in. Exhale back to your chair. Deep inhale and exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, chaturanga, send it down, high through low. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Reset with a breath in and a breath out. Let's do the other side, stepping the left foot through for your low runner's lunge. Just taking a few breaths to set up this initial posture of just that little stretch in runner's lunge. Reaching back through your heel, rooting down through your front foot, relaxing the shoulders. Let's do that hip stretch. So we're going to lower the back knee first. The right knee comes down, untuck the toes. Now lift up, pressing the top of that back foot into the earth, and now try to lower just the hip down. Breathe into it. Few more breaths. Notice if the shoulders are tensing up like mine were, and give them a little softness. And then we'll lower that right knee back down, retuck the toes in, and take your time rising up to crescent lunge from there. Take a few breaths to build it. Take another breath in. Exhale, take flight into Dakasana, your airplane. Just one more breath in here. Exhale, Utkatasana, back to your chair. Let's bring the hands to heart center. This time, inhale, hinge forward. Let's rotate to your left side first. Twisting as deeply as you can. Try to keep your seat low and your heart lifting. Gaze up towards the sky if you can. Few breaths to rotate. Take one more breath in. Exhale back to your chair. Inhale. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, chaturanga, send it down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's pause for about 4 or 5 breaths here. Long and deep. Fully emptying on the way out. Recenter yourself here. Take a moment. Let's take one more breath together. All right, we're going to try to flow through that breath to breath. Step your right foot through. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, airplane. Empty out the breath completely. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, twist to your right. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, once more chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing, left foot through. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, airplane, fully empty. Inhale, chair. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, chair. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Empty it all the way out. We'll flow one more time. Big breath in. Full breath out. Step your right foot through. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, airplane. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, twist to your right. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, twisting left. Inhale, once more, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Big exhale, downward facing, left foot through. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, airplane. Inhale, chair. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, chair. Exhale, twist to your right. Inhale, chair once more. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, chaturanga, send it back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Empty it all the way out. Step your right foot through again. Warrior one. Arriving in warrior one, take a breath in. Exhale, open up warrior two. The first time we come in, let's really dive deep into warrior two, so do take up a little bit of space now. Once we flow, we'll come into a sort of a shorter warrior two, but for now, let's go deep. Again, straighten your front leg and really activate the back one. Outer edge of the foot, a little space between the left arch and the mat, and then bend back in. You want to feel centered between both of your legs and create some oppositional energy, reaching in two directions, softening the gaze somewhere over that right hand. Take a moment to let everything melt. From here, we'll flip the front palm. Inhale, reverse triangle. So we're going to actually straighten that front leg. Open up that right side body. Soften that right shoulder, ribs down. Take a breath in. Exhale, Trikonasana, triangle. So if this stance feels a little wide, you can always walk the back foot in a little bit. Right. Keep that length through the spine, so no side bending here. We're reaching through the crown of the head, staying very light and airy. Use that bottom hand to rotate the heart up. Shift your gaze up, a slight tuck of the chin here. Right, try to feel that integration, everything working together here. Strong breath, strong foundation through your legs. Strong center. All right. Oppositional energy once again here, reaching the fingertips in two directions. Take one more breath in. Exhale, rise up to warrior two. From warrior two, we're going to balance in Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So again, taking your time to lift off. No rush here, right? Just organizing it. We're trying to create some right angles here. Right? Through the legs, through the front leg and the torso and the arms. Do flex your back foot here. Try to open the heart as wide as you can. Take just one more inhale. Exhale, warrior two, landing. Flip your front palm over. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, take a long breath in. Empty the breath all the way out. Do that once more, deep inhale. Full exhale. Let's step the left foot through, warrior one. Warrior one, deep breath in. Exhale, warrior two. Open this one up a little bit. Taking some more space up here. Maybe straightening the front leg again, organizing your back foot. And then diving back in, stay centered here all the way up. Really lifting through the crown, expanding the heart space. And then melting that sense of lightness. Even though, again, this is a powerful posture, we want to find some ease amidst, the challenging part of it. Practicing it on the mat so we can remember to do this off the mat. From here, flip your front palm, straighten the front leg, reverse triangle. Feels so good. Create a little more space through that left side body. Soften the shoulder and the ribs. Take a breath in. Exhale, Trikonasana, back to your triangle. Again, option here, you could always walk the back foot in a little bit. You can keep the knees a little bent here. They don't need to be locked out into position. So softness through the joints, but feel yourself use that bottom hand to open the heart and rotate a little bit. You can bring the shoulder blades a little closer together. Strong, steady breath. No side bending here. We're long. Take one more breath in. Exhale, warrior two, rising up. Flip your front palm over, inhale, reverse it. Exhale, send it all the way down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, full breath out. One more time, deep breath in and out, and then we'll flow through this little sequence. All right, give yourself a reset. Make sure the mind is calm and quiet. Step your right foot through. Big inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, triangle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, half moon. Stay for an inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Big exhale, downward dog, stepping the left foot through. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, triangle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, half moon. Stay for an inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Flip the front palm, inhale, reverse it. Exhale, cartwheel down through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a long breath in. Empty the breath all the way out. Come forward into high plank, inhaling. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. We'll organize the plank in a second. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, gliding forward. Exhale, sending it back. Now inhale, send the right leg back and up, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, peel open the hip, or flip your dog all the way over. Landing your feet parallel to each other, activating the back of the legs, lifting everything up towards the sky, and then reaching towards the front of your mat. strong, steady breath. Inhale, we're going back to a high plank now. Exhale, side plank to your left, Vashisthasana. All right, you can stagger or stack the feet. You could also kickstand the bottom leg. Do try to shift your gaze up. Maybe try sending the top arm over your head or a little lift of the top leg. Now inhale, high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Send the left leg back and up, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, peel the hips open, or flip your dog over. Again, notice the feet parallel to each other, hips with distance. Lift everything up first, and then reach. Inhale, we're going into high plank. Exhale, Vashisthasana, side plank, other side. Taking your time to arrive in it. Once again, options here. Try and reach the top arm over your head. Lift your gaze. Possible lift of that top leg. Inhale, back to high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Empty the breath all the way out. Glide forward into high plank. You might want to walk your hands forward just a bit. Take about 3 counts to lower yourself down. 1, 2, 3. Turn your head to one side, untuck the toes, relax the arms for a moment. We already went into Shalabhasana A right at the beginning during integration. We're going to go into Shalabhasana B next. Okay, so we're going to reach back and interlace the hands at the low back. Spin your third eye down towards the earth. Bring the legs as close together as you can. On an inhale, lift everything up. Try to keep your gaze slightly down here so that the neck stays long. Keep reaching the knuckles back as you lift the arms up. Legs strong and reaching. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Take one more breath in. And exhale, soften, turning your head to one side, bending the knees and windshield wiping your legs. Go ahead and release. We're going to come into Dhanurasana bow. If you prefer to do Shalabhasana A or B, feel free. For bow, we're going to again bring the legs as close together as possible. Bend the knees, catch the outside of the feet or the ankles. Third eye comes down to the earth. Take a breath in to rise up. All right, flex the feet. Reach the tailbone back. Try to rock a little bit through that pelvic area. Keep pressing back through your shins. Keep a lot of length through the neck. Take one more breath in here. And with your exhale, soften. Returning the head to one side, a little windshield wipe with the legs. Lower the legs down. Slide the hands back. Rise into tabletop. Sit back in child's pose just for a couple of breaths. All right, just extending the spine a bit after flexing it. I said that wrong. Flexing the spine after extending it. And then from here, walk the hands back slightly. Come back into tabletop. Take a breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we're heading back there. You'll walk your feet back a little bit. And then I'm cueing for a half pigeon for hip opener, but feel free to come into the hip opener of your choice. We'll start on the right side for half pigeon. Stretch that right leg behind you. Bend the knee, land it behind your right hand, and reach the left leg back. Right shin should be angled to the left front corner. Right foot is flexed. Reach the fingertips forward. Allow everything to settle and melt here. So we want to be opening this space gently and carefully, but feeling that strong sense of surrender to the earth. Keep the mind as quiet as you can. Strong focus on the breath still, on your intention. One more breath here, long and spacious in, full and complete out. If you're in half pigeon, we're going to walk the hands back towards the legs. Inhale, flare the heart open. Exhale, send it into a three-legged dog. Give that right leg a little stretch, however it feels good, and then lower that foot down. Inhale, send the left leg back. Exhale, come into your half pigeon on the other side, or whichever hip opener you're doing, opposite side. One more breath in, nice and long. Empty it out. And begin to make your way out of this hip opener. Flare the heart open. Three-legged dog might feel great after this. Stretch it out. And then from here, we're going to move into inversion. So you can make your way onto your back if you'd like to lift your legs into waterfall, or I think I'll cue for shoulder stand today. All right, Salamba Sarvangasana. So we're going to come onto our backs. We're going to use the arms like levers to lift the hips up. Try to create a line from the ankles to the knees, to the hips, to the shoulders, right? Reaching the feet upwards, lifting the chin high. Keep a lot of space between your neck and the mat. Just gonna adjust my music real quick. I'm trying to lift the legs without compressing into the rib cage at all here. Take a few breaths here if you've come into that shoulder stand. And then we'll transition into plow. Continue to lift, follow your feet with your eyes as you reach them over your head without, again, getting rid of any space that you already created through the rib cage. Right, keep that lift upwards through the hips. Take one more breath. And use your exhale to gently guide yourself down. We're going to take a twist, so if you're not on your back, make your way onto your back. We're going to drive the right leg in towards the torso first, lengthen the left leg, reach through the heel to keep that leg very active. And then rotate that right leg across the body, stacking the right hip on top of the left one. Reach the right arm out to the side, try to anchor down through your shoulders. Maybe shift your gaze over the right shoulder. Also, an option here could be to lengthen the top right leg. You'll feel more of a stretch in that lateral line of the leg, the IT band, which tends to get quite tight. The outer hip, the outer glute. A little bit of the piriformis might get stretched out there too. Take a couple breaths to feel the shoulder blades become even heavier. Continue your breath as you bring that right leg back to center. We'll gather both legs in first and then lengthen your right leg. We'll take that twist to the other side. Reach through the heel of your right leg. Rotate, stacking the hips, anchoring the shoulders, possibly lengthening that top leg. Gently make your way back to center. Bring both legs towards the torso. Before we finish, rock yourself up to seated. Just do one more counter pose. We'll take fish. Hands come to your low back. Lower the forearms down. Lift the heart up. Gently release the head back. Now lift the chin towards the heart. Melt yourself all the way down. Take a long body stretch. Feeling all the newly opened space. And then prepare to settle into your final resting pose. You could separate the arms and legs into actual corpse pose. Supta Baddha Konasana might feel good with the soles of the feet together, hands on heart and belly. Just whatever feels the most comfortable, the most restful to you today. And then we'll take one more conscious breath in. With your exhale, let the breath go, close your eyes, and prepare to rest. Shavasana. Be still. can, resting in Shavasana. You know our time is a bit limited in these quick practices, so if you're able to stay in Shavasana for a few more moments, please do. Just allow the nervous system to recover, the body to rest, the mind to remain as quiet and calm as possible. Before you step off your mat today, do honor yourself the way that I honor you for coming onto your mat today and creating some space both internally and through the physical part of the body that holds on to all of life's tension, all of life's chaos. I invite you to try and take your breath with you today once you step off your mat. Keep it conscious, keep it as intentional as you can, especially in those moments where things might get trying or chaotic. I'm going to leave you. I'll bring my hands to heart center, take them up to my third eye, always with love, gratitude, and a deep respect